give me some cards and I'll promote the crap out of it. So even before I was working here, I was promoting it on Facebook. I was telling friends, I was like, hey, give me, I wanted to earn a bird dog, all that stuff. And so it just came full circle. It's pretty crazy. And from now, we have a full-blown multiple offices actually in San Antonio. It started in a Starbucks. So, we would get together at a Starbucks and work out of our trucks, just like every other contractor. And yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What is your experience with content creation, digital marketing? Do you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Like it's changed. So not only has it changed my life, it's changed Texas family. It's changed the face and the type of company that we are, the culture that we are, the clientele that we attract. I feel like it exposes you as a company, as the individuals. The content is how you connect with the homeowners, which is ultimately who you're trying to connect with. And the cool thing about it is in the beginning and even today, it's free. If roofer A starts out and then roofer B start out, they both start at the same time. And roofer A is just doing the traditional route of, yeah, I'm going to talk to my people and I'm going to go around and I'm going to knock on doors and I'm going to sell super cheap repairs and roof replacements because I need to get business and I need to get started. And they're just super cheap that they're not making any profit, they're not making any money. But then Brewer B is like, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna learn marketing and strategic marketing, and I'm gonna learn how to maximize my profit, and I'm gonna learn all this advanced stuff that you need to be learning. Guess who's gonna get to the finish line faster? And at the end is going to look better, feel better, and just be better all around.
Hey, what's up, roofing fam? Welcome to one more episode, Roofers Going Digital TV, where we present the latest trends and the leaders that are changing the path of the roofing industry. And today we have a good friend and a roofing professional, Erik Villarreal. Welcome to your show, my man.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm finally I'm here. I wanna say it back. What's up, fam?
What's up, fam?
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you, Erik. Erik, in this show we like stories, so
Okay.
we want to know about you. How did you start in the roofing industry? What's your experience? Tell us a little bit more about your company. Promote it. Tell us everything, man. This is your show.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, like I said, thanks for having me. And I know yours is what's up, fam. Mine's what's poppin', who's watching.
Yeah.
So, we all have our little taglines, and it didn't start out that way, that's for sure. So what kind of got me started in this whole industry, I actually had a business before, a landscaping business, that I was ramping up, since basically, any other kid that has any kind of background, you do cut grass, right? That's how you make your money as a kid. Well, I kind of just stuck with that, and then I turned into a business when I got older, and it kind of helped pay for college. And I bought a truck with it, went on some vacations with it. I was like, wow, I can make some serious money doing this. And I got some advice from a good friend of mine, who was, in and out of business his entire life. And he's always kind of been on the contracting side. And that person happened to be Paul, who now today, has been a friend of mine since and forever. We've been friends for a long time, way before I got into roofing. He said, hey, I'm actually doing a roofing business. Why don't you come help me out? And I had no clue what I was getting into. I had no clue anything about roofing. As a matter of fact, I showed up to the very first, I'll never forget this, and he won't let me live it down either. I showed up to my very first roof in my boots that were leathered soled. And if anyone knows anything about boots, you wear those kind of boots like to go out. You don't wear those boots to climb on a roof. So I was slipping and sliding, knew nothing what I was getting myself into or what I was doing. But now here we are. I've been in this role, in this not in this role, but in this industry for 7 years, and it's just from everything is just it's incredible, you know. So that was the beginning. What led me up to that was, you know, all my years in customer service, in sales, that kind of just slowly, without even me realizing it, gave me all the backbone and skill sets that I needed to do what I'm doing today in roofing, you know. But that's how I got started, honestly. I was working in the food industry, and I
Okay.
was selling paper cups and foam cups and to-go ware and cutlery ware. You know, that's right around when Uber Eats was taking off. So all these restaurant owners needed to up their packaging for all this food that they were, you know, sending to go.
Nice, nice. So when was that? When did you start Texas Family Roofing?
So I started in 2019,
2019.
and Texas Family started in 2016. So it was about two and a half years. The funny thing is, though, you know, like I said, Paul and I were friends before it got started, and so I remember the day he told me, he's like, "I'm gonna start a roofing company." You know, and before that, he was in construction. He's been in construction his entire life.
Okay.
And I said, "Why are you gonna do roofing?" You know, and he said, "Because that's where it makes the most money." And you know, and I was like, "Okay, sure, you know, sounds great." And so I remember him coming up with names, you know, trying to develop the name, which now is Texas Family Roofing, coming up with ideas on like how to promote the business, you know, what he wanted to do, kind of like the beginning stages of the vision for the business. And you know, it was like he would bounce these ideas off, and we talked on the phone like every day, you know, like we were like it was like, you know, like, oh, hey, it's our time to talk, you know. And he would help me with my business, and then I would hear his ideas and try and give him the advice of what I thought, you know, from the outside looking in. And you know, I was like, hey, give me some cards, you know, when he got cards, I was like, give me some cards and I'll promote the crap out of it, you know. So even before I was working here, I was promoting it on Facebook. I was telling friends, I was like, hey, give me, you know, I wanted to earn a bird dog, you know, all that stuff. And so it just came full circle, you know, it's pretty crazy. And from now, we have a full-blown multiple offices actually in San Antonio. It started in a Starbucks. So, you know, we would get together at a Starbucks and work out of our trucks just like every other contractor. And yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Nice. Congratulations, guys. Yes, I have seen. I started in the roofing industry 2020,
Hmm.
and I have seen you guys. I know you, like, we know each other from the internet, from the industry, and I went to your
Yeah,
office.
I
I don't,
remember that. I was gonna say, I don't know if you remember coming to our office.
yeah, like 4 years ago. And
Yeah,
I have seen how you guys have been growing, and really good job, guys.
thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. Do you know what I miss?
What's that? I have
Lola.
a feeling. Cholula.
Cholula, Cholula. I almost
Oh
got it,
man,
man.
you know how many times? So I get that at least like twice a week.
Oh,
Where's Cholula? You know, um, uh, I'm. She may be coming back around soon. So,
I would love to have her in the show.
she would love to be there. She would love to be there. I guarantee you.
All right, all right, all right. We will talk about that. So everybody knows. So it's not a local joke. Cholula, it's a character. A
Yes.
character that you used to bring a lot in the beginning in the early stage. And
So
yeah, you can tell better, man.
yeah. So it's funny how like she came about. You know, I started. I don't know, it was maybe like a couple of weeks or months into, you know, when I started doing the roofing. Paul and I were like, hey, this was back when Facebook was like just starting off with like the Facebook ads, and Facebook's live was really like just booming. And he literally was like, all right, I need you to say some stuff about this roof and do it. And I was like, I froze, you know, believe it or not, I froze, and I was just like, oh, I was stumbling over myself. And so fast forward, you know, I got it down, and then I evolved it, and I was actually, what's his name, Maui from the Disney movie, Moana.
Uh huh.
I was Maui for Halloween with the whole family. We were everybody, right? The character. So that's where the wig came from.
Okay.
And then one day my daughter was playing with the wig, and I just got this idea. I was like, because it was like, oh man, she could be like, you know, like like I don't even know what it is, like she is, you know, but she's just this crazy character. And I started doing this voice, and I was just like, all of a sudden it just came together, and I went to a job site with it, and I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go, but let's just roll with it. And it just took off. And I actually had customers call in saying that they wanted Cholula to inspect their roof, and they were only gonna buy a roof from Cholula.
Yeah,
So yeah,
nice. And do you know
try
what?
sitting at a. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, 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 no.
No, I was saying, try sitting at a kitchen table with a couple, a husband and wife, and you're having to play that role in front of the husband. He's just looking at you like, who the heck are we hiring to build our roof? And the wife was like, she's gonna build it. We're gonna Chiluta's gonna do it. And I was so it was nuts. I'll never forget that.
Hey, send me a photo so we can show it here. If we can,
Yes,
so
I will.
everybody can see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I'll send you some. I'll send you some photos. I even got some video clips I can send you.
Nice, nice. So, fam, you will see it here. We will add it here, the photo, so you guys can know what we are talking about. So, Erik, I want to take that route. You talk about content creation. And you have been creating content. You guys have been creating content since probably day one when you start in roofing.
Yeah.
Do you think, how has that been? What is your experience with content creation, digital marketing? Do you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Like it's changed. So not only has it changed my life, it's changed Texas family. It's changed the face and the type of company that we are, the culture that we are, the clientele that we attract. I feel like it exposes you as a company, as the individuals. The content is how you connect with the homeowners, which is ultimately who you're trying to connect with, you know. And the cool thing about it is, in the beginning, and even today, it's free. There's no like it's a low barrier to entry. If you have a cell phone, and I think multiple people in this industry carry multiple phones now, like you have cameras everywhere you go. You know, they even make them in the sunglasses now, so there's no excuse for one. And what it's done is it just allows you to reach in and grab that customer on a personal level. You can get access to them, you know, without even having to try. Now, of course, if you put money behind it, marketing, all that stuff, strategy, yes, there is money involved. But for someone that's just starting out, if you're not doing content, you're already like leaps and bounds like behind the competition that has figured that part out. And I think in the roofing space, it's huge because we are operating in such a like archaic manner for the majority of it that a lot of us don't know. I mean, think of the name, you know, roofers going digital. Like, why did you come up with that? Because roofers need to go digital. They need to get online. They need to get in the content space. It just has to happen. You just have, if you want to have any chance, it has to happen. And then it's going to be horrible at first. It's going to be very uncomfortable. And then the next thing you know, you're going to be spending hours looking back at these videos. You're like, oh, these suck. Oh, sorry. I don't know how the language barrier is here, but these are horrible. Let's throw them out, you know? But as anything, consistency, right? With anything, it gets better and it gets better. And you don't have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on creating content. You just have to spend the time to do it. And then ultimately it's going to come back in form of leads, in form of brand awareness, and, you know, everything else that comes with it.
Erik, do you think creating content digital is the silver bullet? Because a lot of people, and why am I asking that? Because I have seen you guys doing a lot of organic. I am a believer of organic. Mm-hmm. People doesn't like it because they say like, oh, like organic doesn't generate leads, doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. I want to get like the fast results, leads, where are my leads? What do you think about that mindset and like wanting everything fast in the roofing industry?
So we got rid of our golly, I'm horrible with acronyms, but the SEO, we had an SEO, right? We got rid of them right away. And we've been in business now for over 9 years and we have not had an SEO. Everything is organic. And to me, that is, I even made some notes here and I put human, raw, and honest. Like that's organic. Anytime it's not a silver bullet because you can take, you know, say you want to take $10,000, $20,000, throw it at a marketing company and have them, you know, give you your content. That's great. And some people do need that, but in conjunction, you still have to put in the effort and the time to carry that message out. If you just hire somebody or you just do it and then make a video and put it out there one time, that's it. It's gonna die. I think the difference and that what works so well for us is consistency. Like I mean, some people get annoyed because I am there like this in front of them, but that's the story, right? As human beings, we go off of stories. This show, you like to tell stories because you know that that's how people relate. They can relate to a story, they can follow a story, and that's how your customers, if you're looking for leads, if you're looking for growth, that's how your customers operate as well. So you want to tell a story every single day. And that's what I try and do in my videos. And sometimes it comes across super easy, super fast. Sometimes it doesn't come across at all. But the only way you're going to figure that out is if you're consistently creating content, and it's going to be a very bumpy road in the beginning. Even today, like I've been doing this now for 7 years and I'm still learning new ways and better ways, and the techniques and strategy is always changing as well.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now, talking about sales and marketing, I have seen people that are like roofers that tell me like, Francisco, I hate sales. I'm not gonna go out and door knocking. I hate cold calling. I want you to bring all the leads. I want you to do everything. What do you think about that mindset? Do you think that's possible, or do you think needs to be a mix, or do you like, what do you think about that? Sales versus marketing.
We don't door knock at all. We
You
haven't.
don't?
Nope. The last time anyone has door knocked for us has probably been years ago. Um, the and that's not to like be cocky. That's to say that it works. If you are I'm going to say that word several. I'm going to be consistent in preaching consistency because it's the truth. Yes, but it does go hand in hand. To answer your question, sales and marketing go hand in hand. You can have a company. I mean, there's several models. The door-to-door salesman. There's programs. There's people that preach that, and it works. I've gone to seminars and educations on door-to-door sales, and it's a totally different approach versus an appointment, right? Where a lead came in because that individual watched your video and your content, and maybe they've been seeing you for weeks and months, and then all of a sudden a storm hit, and now whether it was a hailstorm or just a rainstorm that caused a leak, light bulb goes off. Oh, that crazy person that was telling them to call them, guess what? I'm going to call them now. That's a totally different avenue and type of experience that customer is going to go through, that sales rep is going to go through, compared to someone that's knocking at the door. They both work, and if you're trying to go to both at the same time, you're going to fail. You have to pick one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Focus.
you have to.
Focus.
Yeah.
And get better in one. But you guys do other sales strategies. Cold calling, you guys have networks with homeowners and everything else, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're constantly trying to come up with new ways, right? It's a never-ending game. Networking and referrals is huge, but it's what I have found, because I've worked with a lot of sales reps, I've worked with a lot of sales teams over the years. The team that we have in place now, none of them door knock. They're not required to, and they don't have the time to, honestly. Their schedules are full, and that's due to all the back end stuff, the time and that's compounded over the years of content. Not just content, but what do you then do with that content? Because you can repurpose content, but if you don't put it to work for you, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, like on the back end, through the marketing side, if you don't do the legwork, then their content is kind of relevant, or irrelevant, should I say.
Yes, for sure. Now, I will probably come back to this topic, sales and marketing, but in the other side, I have seen you in a lot of masterminds, networking events, association, and you are a member. Where are you member? What are they? So people can know about them? And can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, the biggest one and the one like that's kind of like in the spotlight right now is the CTRCA. And then that's basically the local chapter of RCAT, right? I have been part of the SA here in San Antonio, the SA Mastermind, and that was a great. Something totally different, and a lot of people, especially in roofing, it's like, hey, let's get together, let's talk about business and best practices. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, these are my secrets, like I'm not going to share them with you. And it turns into that's what it turns into, is like, I'm not going to share this with you. And that's what we tried to change. With SA Mastermind, it was more of a, hey, let's get together as a group. Some of the top companies in San Antonio, the owners get together. We meet for 2 hours. We would have it over lunch, and then we would talk about something. We would have a topic. We would bring in an individual that was more of an expert on that topic, and then share best practices. We even did some panels where we would have someone that's great with metal roofing, someone that's great with commercial roofing, or whatever they were great in, and then they would go up on a panel and we would just ask questions the whole time, and share what was working, what didn't work. And to me, that was like super valuable, because for one, I'm a big believer in never being the smartest person in the room. And that's one way to always make sure that you are in a room with people that are smarter and have more knowledge and experience than you. And for someone like me, that I consider like I'm barely getting started, I want to soak it all up. I want to learn from the people that have been doing it, the people that have made mistakes. They've already paid the dumb tax, as a lot of people like to say, so that I don't have to do that. I don't have to make those same mistakes. I can learn and make note of what they did and how it went wrong, and then do it better for myself. Not in a selfish way, but so that we all can all learn. And then all together we level up. And so that was great. It lasted, and it's still kind of there, but that was for about 2 years on a consistent basis, right? And then one day, I get a phone call and it's like, hey, we have something going on over here at CTRCA. Would you like to, sit in on a meeting and see what we have going? And then I started asking questions, well, what's it about? What are we trying to do here? What's going to be my role? What's going to be my responsibility here? Because I have a business, time and I can only spread myself so thin. I have the business. I'm a family man, and I want to make sure that I'm there for everybody. And when I am there, I want to be where my feet are. I want to be the best version of myself everywhere I go. And so after learning, okay, what was needed and what was wanted and what was being like, what the direction of where they were wanting to go with it, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna rebuild this thing. I'm all in. I like to do that kind of thing, because before that, it was there, but it wasn't as organized, and there was some misconception of what it was and what it was all about. And so I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad that y'all thought of me, and heck yeah, I want to be part of it. And so now we've been there. It's been some time, and it's coming around. I think it's a totally different organization now than what it was. But if you are someone that has just getting into roofing, or you've been in roofing and you've been that person that's like, oh, this works for me, and I'm not going to share this secret sauce, well, you're kind of a fool, because I guarantee you someone's doing it better than you, and you're doing it the wrong way, and this is a way to learn from people that are like-minded and that want to grow just as much as you do.
Yeah, the industry is, I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but in 2023 was $52 billion. And people thinks that they have competition. Like, yes, they have
Oh
competition,
yeah.
but it's like, man, but these people in this room, I don't know how many contractors are in San Antonio or in Texas, but I don't think this small group of owners are the ones who is taking your job. Probably they are, some of them, but I think
Yeah, no.
there is projects for everybody.
And and if you talk to anyone in that room, when you lose to one of them, it's almost like cool, like it's weird, right? It doesn't make any sense, but it's like I'm glad that I'm competing at this level now. Like, and we're not dealing with, the lower level contractors that are going to always underbid you, that you can't call competition.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. Do you recommend contractors to join their local association?
Yes, absolutely. Because, and here's why. Because you need to know, I guarantee you, if you are, a newer contractor, because these days it's super easy. Here in Texas, it's super easy to become a contractor. You could say, hey, I want to start a roofing company this afternoon and be up and running by tomorrow. And that's amazing. That's great, right? But you don't know what you're doing. And so if you're part of an organization, you're going to see what the standard should be like, and therefore it's going to help the whole industry. Instead of bringing it down with someone out there doing bad practice, it's going to bring it up, because like, oh well, I didn't know you got to do it this way. I didn't know you need to pull a permit on every single job, and I didn't know that you could do this, or that you had to have insurance like this for that. All these little things, that there's so many things that you need to worry about as far as running the business. And this is going to help take some of that stress off of you, because there's things in this organization, and there's partnerships and networks that can help you get those things a little bit easier than if you're trying to find it yourself.
Yeah, 100% agree. Eric,
Yeah.
what are we doing in CTRCA? What are we doing and some of the events that are coming? And I can help you with this one if you have.
Yeah, for sure. No, the one actually coming up is actually pretty exciting for me, because we are half retail, half insurance. And anyone that's in roofing knows how big the insurance industry and all that, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole, right? But it's messy, and it can get messy. So you need to know how to do this. If you're going to do it right, like I said, if you're going to do it right, you want to be the best version of yourself. You got to learn what you need to be doing. So this month in July, we have an expert coming in that is all about insurance, and he's going to help teach and educate us. Of course, it's on a granular, maybe not a granular level, but it's on the surface level, that then you can have that access. You have that access and that connection now to get more granular with it. So we're going to do a lunch and learn this month on insurance and insurance work. And in the past, we've done them on insurance work with other people. And there's so many different things that we talk about. But these lunch and learns we do once a month. And they're either in San Antonio or they're in Austin. And if you're part of the CTRCA, that's what you get access to. You can come to these things. There's no extra charge. And not only are you going to get something to eat, but you're going to really take home some valuable golden nuggets. And you might meet some other people that you get along with and start relationships. We just had the boat party for the summer party, so there's some fun baked into it as well. Huge networking event, great opportunity to you see other roofers that are bigger than you that do more online, and you're like, man, like I would love to get to meet that person and see like what they're doing. Guess what? They're at these things. You can meet them. The list goes on and on. I'm sure I left some stuff out.
Yeah. I think what I like about these events is that for roofer contractors, they are rubbing elbows with one of the best companies in town, And if you're starting and you are with them, something is gonna come to you,
Oh, absolutely. And it's the relationship too, because I guarantee you, if you are consistently showing up to these meetings and it's just like anything else, you're like a regular, right? Well, do you think that if you're in a pinch, you're going to have that person's contact information? You can call them up or send them a text and say, hey, so-and-so, I'm running into this problem. Would you be willing to help me? I guarantee they're going to help you. Because I do that. I do that when people reach out to me. Hey, I have this problem here. Actually, just this morning, another roofer called me and asked me for some help on video. And I gave him some quick tips. I was going to an appointment, and he was like, wow, I was on YouTube for like hours last night, and you just like squashed that in 5 minutes.
Damn.
And so, it's like, I think that there's more people in the roofing space that want to help than that don't want to help, but everybody is still in that mindset of like, oh, this is my secret sauce and I'm not going to share it.
And we need the grow mindset.
Yes.
Now, did you go to the fishing tournament?
I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes. So there's a lot of fun things.
Tell us about it, man.
I didn't sleep because I was and the reason I didn't sleep was because I got into some great conversation with some of the biggest roofing companies in town. We were literally up like till 2 or 3 a.m. talking business We weren't even like, partying or nothing like that. We were literally just in a living room at an Airbnb talking shop. And we were like, just my mind was just like, you know. And then we had to wake up at like 5:30 to go get on the boats by 6. So literally took like an hour and a half nap. But it was such a valuable trip because that's access to, like you said, rubbing elbows. Well, not only rubbing elbows, we're literally having conversations. It's like trying to hire, a CEO or of a multi-million dollar company and picking their brain. You can do that here. You get to meet other roofers. I talked to a couple of roofers up in Dallas. And it was cool because they're like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, cool, I don't know you, but awesome that you know me, so it's really cool. I love it. I love networking. I love talking to other people in the roofing space. And I want to meet more people and learn, because I know, like I said, I'm barely just getting started. And there's people that have been doing this longer, and there's people that have been doing it for less time that are getting, bigger or better because they're being more strategic. I like to use the analogy of like, I don't want to spin my wheels. I want to get traction with everything I do. And so there's people that have more traction and they're able to get to the point that they're trying to get to way faster. And I want to be that. I want to get there. I want to get there fast.
I agree. I agree. Yes. And also another event that is coming is September 17th, the Texas Roofing Conference in Austin, Texas, in Central Texas.
Yes.
And that one is going to be a great one too. 3 days
Yeah.
of roofing conference.
Yeah. Anytime you get access or have access to get into a conference, you should go, because they bring in people and experts that why would you not? It's continued education. I started reading probably 2 years ago.
Okay.
Before that, I never read, maybe in high school because we had to. But it's crazy what you can learn when you read, and when you listen. And some of these people that write these books are at these conferences talking, so you should definitely go to those events and join, if you don't want to join the full organization of RCAT, join your local chapter, start there, and then you'll get to see what else, you can get from there, because there's RCAT and then there's the local chapters. For us here, it's, CTRCA, Central Texas, which spans from Waco, Austin, and San Antonio.
Yes. And every state and every region of the country, you are gonna find an association, fam. It's not only Texas, it's not only Central Texas.
True.
Yeah, you need to join your local association if you are listening to this. It's not only like we said, like about this association that we are mentioning, RCAT and CTRCA. The other thing that we wanna recommend is that I hear a lot of people like, oh, I don't see the value, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fam, you need to get involved. Like, I'm not saying to be part of the board, but check out the social media, become part of their, connect with the people that are members, because there is a lot of events. Lunch and learns every month, the board member meetings, the networking events, the conference, the fishing tournaments. There are the networking with the other boards whenever you need help. The value that every time that the time passes for roofing contractor is invaluable. It's incredible.
Well, and the certification, the credentials that you get from it, the braggability, right? You can brand that you are part of that organization. It's like a seal of approval to a homeowner. And that's actually something I wanted to talk about as well. I think that in this day and age, I have personally seen it in my small circle, so many new companies, right? So many new roofing companies that have come into existence within the last year, 2 or 3 years, right? And the reason that a lot of them, there's a lot of struggle, is because of the access that everybody has to information these days. And that's homeowners and that's other roofers. And so homeowners have so much so much resource, is what I'm trying to say, that they can go online and do a quick search, and they'll know what a roof should look like, how it should be built, the warranties that should come with, what manufacturers are out there based on the region that they live in, what should be or should not be done, what should be used, what should not be used. And so if you as a roofing contractor go in there and don't talk about those things or don't show that you do those things, well, you just lost. But, and they also know the organizations. So if they see, oh, in Texas, RCAT CTRCA is like the cool kids club, and it's not the cool kids club. It's like the seal of approval. It's like the BBB. If you have a BBB seal, like the older generation, that's all they go by. And if you don't have a BBB stamp of approval, they're not going to hire you.
Mhm.
Well, same thing with this. If you don't have this, you may not get hired. And if you do, well, then now you have a better chance because I guarantee you it pops up. I've had customers that will post about that. I've seen people on Facebook say, "Hey, I'm looking for a roofer, but I want them to be, RCAT, part of the RCAT organization, or HAG certified, or whatever it is they're looking for," because they have so much access now. Before, back in the day, no one knew anything about roofing. They just knew that it was up there, and if it leaked, it was bad news bears for inside. And so you could go to that homeowner and say it's going to be, $10,000 or it's going to be $2,000 for this repair, and they didn't know anything better, and they were just like, okay, I guess so. Kind of like how plumbers, you don't know how to plumb, and but now there's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's Instagram. You can do, as a homeowner, you can do a quick search and learn how to do something enough to where you know what's right and what's wrong. You may not be able to install a roof, but like, oh, I need to look out for this, I need to look out for that, you know and that's what being part of something like CTRCA will help with, because we know what they're looking for, and it's just better for you if you're more educated. The more educated you are, knowledge is power, right? And then the other part to that is not only do homeowners have more access, but other roofers do too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if roofer A starts out and then roofer B start out, and they both start at the same time, and roofer A is just doing the traditional route of, yeah, I'm going to talk to my people and I'm going to go around and I'm going to knock on doors and I'm going to sell super cheap repairs and roof replacements because I need to get business and I need to get started. And they're just super cheap, that they're not making any profit, they're not making any money. But then roofer B is like, I'm going to go online and I'm going to learn marketing and strategic marketing, and I'm going to learn how to maximize my profit, and I'm going to learn all this advanced stuff that you need to be learning. Guess who's going to get to the finish line faster? And at the end is going to look better, feel better, and just be better all around.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, actually, that's what I was gonna say is that right now, homeowners and roofers too, like with the free internet, like homeowners are well prepared. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
like before that you were the only one and they were gonna see you on TV and you were gonna arrive and they didn't have any other option. Right now, those guys,
Yeah.
the homeowner is really well prepared. And
Yeah.
the way someone needs to prepare to sell, you need to be ready.
You need to be super ready. You got to be more educated than ever before. You know, the whole fake it till you make it. I mean, yeah, it may work for some, but I mean, just spend a couple hours. This is what I tell my team. Spend a couple hours doing self-education, being resourceful, and you'll be surprised how far that gets you.
Yes,
Because
100%.
that's what your competition's doing, and that's what your clients are doing. So if you're not doing it, well, someone's gonna fail. It
100%.
ain't gonna be me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not us. Hey,
Yeah.
Eric, right now that we are taking that route about homeowners, what advices would you give? Like, what are some questions that the homeowners need to ask to a roofing contractors before they're hired? Because as we know, we don't have license in Texas, so
hmm
everybody becomes a roofer every day. So, what are some recommendations in case they are listening to this?
Well, other than the fact of, are you part of a local organization? I think the biggest thing is, for one, is before as a homeowner, right? Before you even call a contractor, Google them.
Okay.
Do an online search. Maybe it's not Google, but do an online search. Google's going to be your best bet because Google's going to do a lot of the vetting for you. They're going to do a lot of the hard work in making sure that that contractor has insurance, making sure that, if anyone's talking bad about them, you're going to be able to see it in the reviews. You're going to see their work because people are going to post pictures. Um, and so you can do a quick search of that contractor before you even call them. And then when you call them, you know, talk to them a little bit and see, are you calling them? Are they having a conversation with you? Or are they just getting information, showing up, and then taking, a couple of days to get you a price?
Mhm.
There's a process to it, and you'll know right away the type of contractor you're dealing with. If they're having conversations with you, asking you what's going on, then they care. That's what you really want to find out is, do they care about you and your problem, or are they just in it for the money? Are they just trying to take your money and run? Because it blows my mind that to this day, you see it all the time in the headlines. So a homeowner gets scammed for, thousands of dollars. They gave them the money and they ran. And it's crazy to think that, right? And that's one of those things that sets it up and makes it horrible for all the other roofers, because then we're going in there with that stereotype. But, as a homeowner, you want to hire a good contractor. Have you seen them? Do they have branded vehicles? Have you seen them around town? Not saying that they have to be like plastered on billboards and everywhere, but have you seen them? Do they have a presence in your town? Are they local? So the Google search, the online search, the localness of them, are they local? And then, find out like who they're with, like what are they a part of? Are they certified, with a manufacturer, or are they just getting started? How long have they been in business? All these things are super important because if you're a homeowner, a lot of them are new homeowners. There's a lot of new homeowners out there. And those new homeowners have a hailstorm hit their roof, they have no clue what to do. I had a neighbor not too long ago that called. It was on Easter, and he's like, it was pouring down rain, and he called and said, "My roof is leaking," and his house and my house are the same age. And I'm like, it shouldn't be leaking, and so he had no clue what to do. And so I said, give me a little bit of time. I was actually making a brisket because it was Easter. I said, give me a little bit of time because I'm getting ready to take the brisket off and I can't mess this up because the whole family will be mad at me. I said, but then I'll come over there. And so I went over there and I talked to him and I said, hey, let me get in your attic. Let me see what's going on. And I was able to quickly pinpoint the leak and it got it fixed for him. Or not get it fixed, but I put a tarp up and stopped the water from coming in. And he literally was like, wow, that was amazing. How did you do that? Like I had no clue. And so that just goes to show me like homeowners are not roofers. They don't know how roofs work. And for someone that's watching this, it's a homeowner, you shouldn't have to know, but you do need to know it is your responsibility to hire the right contractor, the right roofer that does know. And it's when you hire the wrong one because you're focused on the wrong thing, which is the price, because that's just what it is, and you're not focused on the other things, which is more important, which is, like I said, the Google search, the online presence, are they local? Do they have a reputation? Do they have a good reputation or a bad reputation?
Nice, nice. Great advice. Great
Yeah.
advice and great information that you have shared. Without that, you are not here like you are sharing everything, and I really appreciate in the name of the whole roofing industry, Eric.
I'm an open book. Whether that's good or bad, I'm gonna tell it to you.
I don't think it's bad, man. Look where you are right now. Look where you guys are. You guys are growing every day.
Yeah.
Now, Eric, we are getting into the end of this conversation that I don't want it. I don't want. Or probably we are gonna do a part two later.
I was gonna say subscribe for part two.
Hey, I didn't say the call to action, man.
Yeah,
That's
you got it. CTA baby.
yeah, rookie mistake, rookie mistake. Rookie. Okay. Hey, fams, don't forget to subscribe. Roofers Going Digital TV to know more.
Hey, there you go.
Eric, what is one last advice that you wanna give to roofers now? What like the best advice that you have in your experience?
Don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Don't get it. Don't do it. Don't get into roofing. But if you're already in it, here's my advice. Actually, I think that's obviously sarcasm, but roofing has been amazing to me. It's changed everything about me. It's changed my entire life, and it will continue to change it, for the better. The biggest thing, the biggest recommendation that I have is stay consistent with what you're doing. I
Okay.
think that's the biggest struggle that people have, and I've learned that that's with all aspects of life. You have you have to live it. And it's not like that's very like cliche, right? Live the roofing life, but you have to live it. You have to live it. You have to own it. If you're gonna get in roofing, it's a 24/7 business.
Mhm.
Roofs don't, they don't care that it's midnight, 1 in the morning, and there's a storm. They don't care. They're gonna leak. They're gonna fail. And these are people's homes that we're talking about. These are people's, one of their most, if not the most valuable asset that they own. And they are in a sense of like distress when they need us. And so you have to stay consistent. You have to stay in front of it and you have to be there for everybody. You have to be there for the community, for the people, and you have to let them know that you're there to solve their problem. That's what I preach every day. I am very consistent in my message, and that is I'm here to solve your problem. It's
Nice.
even one of my tags is we'll make your roofing problem a thing of the past, you know, and I need to trademark that. You can't steal that.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You need to.
but I know, but the key is consistency because I also recently, it's been 2 years now that I got into fitness, running, and I couldn't have got to where I am today without being consistent at it. So it's taught me a lot, the word consistency. And it's in the content, it's in the showing up to work, it's in the drive, it's in marketing, it's in sales, production, everything. You have to stay consistent with it. Even if you don't have nothing to do, find something to do. Stay consistently working because if not, you're going to just fade into the background and you're going to become a statistic like everybody else. Most roofing companies and most businesses will fold in the first 1 to 3 years, right? So if you're not consistent, you're gonna fail. The next thing is read books. Reading has taught me so much, and it's very inexpensive to read. You can get a subscription to Audible if you're more of a listener and listen to audiobooks, or you can buy the actual book. They're super cheap, $15-20, and you're going to get so much out of it. You have to read books, and you're probably going to read some good books, some bad books, some books that, why am I reading this book? But just read books and learn what other people are doing and what they're talking about, and that will better your business.
Nice.
There's a lot of good books out there, and then implement what you learn.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing that I think a lot of people don't do, because you can read every book, you can go to every seminar, you can do everything, but if you don't implement it, then it's wasted.
Hey, for the people, for the listeners that are saying like, Eric, but everything that you are saying are the basic things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no one does them.
Exactly. Do it, but do it. Do that.
Yeah, no one wants to put in the time and the hard work. They want to they see the roofer money. They see that, this guy's making millions of dollars and he's driving this beast of a truck and, all the things that come with it. They got commercials and billboards and, dozens of wrapped vehicles. I want that tomorrow. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I don't even want to know how you made it happen because it's fake. It's not real. There's very small percentage of people that can make that a reality. And you have to be, yeah, it all revolves around the money. And so if you don't have that money, you have to put in the time and effort and the grind. You just do.
Yeah, easy comes, easy goes.
Oh, very. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be gone in a flash.
Yes.
Roofing is expensive in all aspects of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Eric, where can you please share with us all your personal information and the company information, so if someone wants to contact you or a homeowner or whoever?
Absolutely. So everything for me is Eric at Eric L Roofer. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Erik L Roofer. And the same for it's Texas Family Roofing. There's only one, Texas Family Roofing, and we're here in San Antonio. We operate in Austin, all the Hill Country. And yes, if you're watching this and you need some help with your roof, I would be more than happy to help you out. We're the best. Let's just put it that way. We'll take care of you.
Nice.
We'll make your roofing problem a thing of the past.
Nice, I love it. You have it, everything you have it really well prepared, man. I love it. All the
Thank you,
slogans,
thank
all
you.
the sentences. No, I love it.
Hey, when you're consistently doing something, it just comes. I wouldn't say it comes natural because it still work, but it just comes a little easier. It flows a little more.
Yeah, I'm gonna close with this. They say that when you are a salesperson or a business owner or whoever, you just need to know one message and repeat it every day to all the people. It's not like different messages. But Eric, thank you very much. Thank you
No,
for the
thank you.
information.
Yes,
Talk to you. See you next week in the lunch and
yes. Yep,
CTRCA.
it's on the calendar.
And happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, Pancho. Thank you very much again for having me. Everyone watching, thank y'all for watching, and we'll definitely see you around for part two.
Who is watching? Who is popping? Or how is it?
Who's what? Wait, now you messed me up. What's popping? Who's watching?
Peace, fam. See ya.